Hi and welcome to US Landgrid's presentation on acquiring, setting up and testing your Landgrid. We're going to go ahead and choose our Landgrid by going to the menu, choosing North Dakota and scrolling down to Mountrail County. We could have used the right search button in the top right hand corner. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Mountrail County. I can choose both file formats, both shapefiles and the file geodatabases. There's no cost to choose both. Let's go ahead and add that to the cart. Proceed to our checkout. Fill out our user information. And then as soon as we're finished with that, we can go ahead and place our order. And as soon as that's done, which is pretty much instantly, we'll be able to go ahead and go through to the account management screen, where we'll be able to see our most recent order, and we'll be able to click on our downloadable products on the left hand side. There we'll see our file geodatabase and our shapefiles. We'll also see that we've got 2 remaining downloads for each one of those. We basically store every product that you buy from us on the website so that you can come back and download it at a later date in case you ever lose it. So here we are, bringing it into ArcMap. I've already downloaded the file. I don't know if you saw that, but it happened pretty quickly. We're going to go ahead and choose NAD83. You can see there's NAD27 as well. When we provide you with our data, we provide it both in NAD87 and NAD23, which is pretty handy for those conversions, those datum and projection conversions in your mapping software. So right now all I'm going to go ahead and do is start building the map the way I want it to look. So I just edited my waters there with a nice blue lake looking color. I'm now going to edit my labels for my townships. I'm going to set up what sort of attribute label I want to display. We're going to go ahead and just set up some placement properties here as well. We'll then go through and also set up a scale range and maybe mess around with the symbology a little bit as well. So basically all we're doing is setting up our Landgrid, building it the way we want it to look. It might be different for you or for each organization, obviously. So I'm going to make my townships hollow with a red outline. Oops, sorry, hollow with a red outline. Let's try that again. Okay, it's starting to look more like the way I want. Let's go ahead and edit our quarters now. We've got a pretty busy map here. So I'm going to make my quarters 30% transparent. I'm going to go ahead and once again choose the attribute label I want, which is going to be quarter. I'm going to use a small label, font of 6. Set a scale range probably of 1 to 24,000, so don't show when zoomed beyond. Okay, let's go ahead and edit our lots. We want those to stand out. They're yellow. We'll make them a little bit transparent. Let's make sure our labels show up. Our lot number is our attribute we want to choose here. Set up a scale range so they don't show out beyond 100,000. And let's move our sections up a little bit in priority so we can still see our section lines when we do our testing. Set a scale range for our labels with our sections. Set that to 1 to 250K. And lastly, our surveys. I don't know if we have any surveys in this area, but we'll set our surveys to 1 to 100k, assuming there are some. And we're pretty much ready to go. Let's go ahead and bring in just a simple backdrop map. I'm getting this from ArcGIS Online, and we'll get the world topographic map as a backdrop to our vector Landgrid. There we go. Start to zoom in. Get a good idea of how we've set up our Landgrid. You see how not all the labels are showing for the quarters? It's because we set up scale dependency on those quarters. We've got lots of attributes to choose from with regards to how we want to label our map. So I'm going to turn on my quarters now so we can see them. Might be a bit overbearing, but we'll come back and change it later. Wow, there we go. We've got all our quarters. We've got our irregular lots around that lake there. So we'll zoom in a little bit and have a look at those. Let's change our quarters to not show the labels beyond 1 to 24k. And at this scale, it's a little easier to read there. So let's zoom in. We'll see our quarters again. See our nice irregular lots around the lake. Let's go ahead and bring in another layer from ArcGIS Online, the topos. So with the 1 to 24k USGS topographic maps, we can really have a look at the Landgrid that we're using. Obviously, we're using the US Landgrid, and I've purposely chosen an area that does have a slight data bust, and it's going to give us an example of how to test your Landgrid and see how it does compare to the source data, which in the PLSS states, such as North Dakota and Oklahoma, etc., the source is going to be the USGS 1 to 24k topographic maps. So we can see that township line in red matches up well with the topos. I do see a data bust there on the section line, well, at least on one section line. So we'll have a look at that, and we'll start to get an idea of how bad that data bust actually is. But as long as we know the source of our data, we're able to actually determine how good it is, obviously, but also if we need to do further research. So it's off by about 46 feet, as we can tell by the topo there. The other lines match up quite nicely, and as we zoom back out, we'll be able to see that, especially those irregular lots along the lake. So that's what you want to see when you're having a look at your Landgrid and testing for the accuracy with regards to its source. With regards to Landgrid in North Dakota, if we bring in the topos like we've done today, we can start to see whether it actually matches up as it should. And the nice thing is here we've got plenty of good vector data at US Landgrid that you're testing from, with regards to obviously the township sections, quarters, lots, and then those surveys. What I've done here is brought in the imagery, and it gives us a good idea of how those lots lie within that imagery. So it's just the free web mapping service, once again, I think from ArcGIS Online. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for taking your time to join us today. We really appreciate your time, and we understand it's valuable. If you have any questions for us, please don't hesitate to contact us at uslandgrid.com. Thank you.